Welcome to Bottles and Bites Without Borders, where every sip and every bite tell a story. Rob is your host. Each week, he will take you on a delicious journey, from vineyard tales and distillery secrets to culinary traditions. So, grab a favorite drink, a plate of something tasty, and join us for another adventure with Bottles and Bites.
Hey everyone, welcome back to the podcast. Thanks for stopping by again. If it's your first time, thank you for stopping by. We appreciate you joining in for a conversation. This is going to be a sweet conversation tonight. No pun intended. Nothing?
No pun intended.
Nothing? No comment? No nothing?
I didn't have a comment too.
Okay. That's my lovely wife, Sandra. If you didn't recognize the voice, she's back on the podcast. How you doing, babe?
I'm doing good.
We're coming strong with another top five.
Yes.
We are doing donuts tonight, which I got to tell you, I kind of have my favorites, but I thought, what did I used to eat or what did I like? Because I kind of am in this kind of lane now. And I went and looked at, Dunkin' Donuts website and a popular donut shop here, Shipley's. There's not as many donuts as I thought there might be. I was a little surprised at the few amount of donuts that, were options for you.
I guess we never paid attention before.
Yeah, I guess we just kind of like what we like. Now, I still came up with, I think, 9 donuts, and I had to get that down to my top 5, which I was able to do.
Yeah, I got 9 as well, and it wasn't very hard for me to rank them.
Yeah, it wasn't hard for me either. Before we dive into this, though, I do want to say, like I said, a big thanks to everybody who listens to the podcast. We got a little fan mail from a gentleman, Hal, in Shawnee, Oklahoma. Want to give a big shout out to him. Say thanks very much for listening. He was entertained by our top 5 white wines with your Where is Sancerre in France, and kind of going back and forth. Where in France and Sancerre. He thought that was kind of funny. But,
well, that is where it's at.
Yeah, that is. You were exactly right. Hal, really appreciate it, man. Thanks so much for listening and share our podcast wherever you listen on any, Spotify, Google, YouTube, wherever. And by the way, we are on YouTube. We are now video recording our podcast. So under the same name, Bottles and Bites Without Borders. I also do a little cooking and some other things on there. We might throw in a wine blind you and I have done, things like that. So definitely go check out the YouTube channel as well. We would appreciate that.
Absolutely.
All right, diving into tonight's episode.
Okay. Top
5 donuts. I mean, I got to think, from the young children to the seniors in the communities, everybody loves a donut.
Oh, who doesn't?
Now, we might, 25, 30 years ago, maybe put away 2 or 3 donuts in one helping. But I think I'm down to, I say that like I'm proud, down to 1 donut when we have one. And it's enough for me, 1 donut. 1 donut. Now, when do we...
One does what one can do.
One does what one can do. Inside joke there. Sorry, people. So when we go to the donut shop, and I thought this would be fun to do because to me, there are just some great donuts. And for this episode, donut is going to be kind of a broad category. Because if you go to a donut shop, not everything's, this circle with the hole punched out and in that shape. There's a selection. And kind of what I've recognized or noticed was donut shops call, those kind of circle glazed donuts or with a frosting on the top or an icing on the top, they call those donuts. And then they call the other ones premium selections.
Premium selections?
Yeah. So
like the ones with the pink frosting on it?
No.
Or just,
no.
Just the other ones?
No. The other ones would be an eclair.
Oh, okay.
An apple fritter.
Okay.
A bear claw.
Oh.
Something like that.
Gotcha.
That would be a premium selection. So that's kind of, all of those are included in our calling it a donut, for top 5 donuts tonight. Right. So I'm just kind of giving a little clarification.
Okay.
So
that's good.
When do we usually go to the donut shop?
Saturday mornings. Or Sunday morning.
Why do we usually go to the donut? Why do we usually get a donut? I'm trying to lead you here. I don't know if it's going to work. We're just going to skip that. We go for breakfast, and then we pick up a donut. It used to be the donut shop stood alone, and I think some still do, but most of them, gosh, I don't know of any in our community here in Houston, Texas, that stand alone as a donut shop. What I mean by that is They all offer breakfast now. And here in our community,
Oh,
kolaches are what takes us to the donut shop. So
right.
our favorite little community donut shop by our house is Karma Kolaches and Donuts.
Yes.
And that's where we go. And we go for the kolaches to pick,
Yes.
hey, you want breakfast? Yeah, let's do kolaches. Okay. And then when we're there, it's like,
You got to get a donut.
Got to get a donut.
Yep.
And so that's what we do.
Yep.
But
Well,
Go ahead.
and maybe you need to clarify kolaches here because
Do
a
you
lot
think-
of people, a lot of people may think of kolache as the original kolache.
Oh, no, I think a lot of people, the bigger the clarification there would be what the hell is a kolache?
Well, okay.
Because
Yeah.
I don't think it's made its way up. I'm from Missouri. It's made its way up there. Kolache factories are in Missouri. I think they're getting a little
Okay.
bit more well known. I'm not sure how much on the West Coast, but a kolache is, think of it as a breakfast hot pocket. Is that kind of the best way to describe
yeah.
it?
Mhm.
And kind of the style of food. It's stuffed, it's closed, it's sealed, it's baked, and then you eat it with your hand.
Yes.
Most of ours come round if they have egg in them, and you can get them with eggs, potato, sausage, bacon, biscuits and gravy,
Yes.
kolaches. They also have, jalapeno with cheese and sausage, which is one of your favorites. But a kolache is a breakfast hot pocket. It's a not German. What's the other? Czech. It's from the Czech Republic is where this food comes from. But originally, like Americans do, we bastardized this. Originally, it came over, and if you think of like a Danish kind of little
Correct.
dessert where it had some cream cheese frosting and a little strawberry or cherry filling, this is what a kolache was. It was almost like another name for a Danish.
Yes.
And Americans went, man, that bread's good, but that jelly sucks. Let me tell you what I can put in there. I can put some eggs and
They
cheese and bacon, and now it's a good kolache.
Right.
So I think that comes from us. I think I got that right.
I think so. Because, our kolaches are not what
An original
originally
kolache
started.
would be. We got
Correct.
off track here with
Yeah.
kolaches, but that's my point is usually it's breakfast that takes you to a donut shop. If you're going to go to
Yes.
Dunkin' Donuts, they have all the coffees and breakfast sandwiches and stuff now. So does Shipley's
Yes.
here locally. So I think, the only one that I think might not, and I haven't been to one in a while, would be Krispy Kreme.
I don't
heard of a
know.
breakfast
I don't
sandwich at a
know.
Krispy Kreme, but
Yeah, I don't
it's
think
been
so.
years, so they may have kind of updated and started doing breakfast.
Yeah,
as well.
that's a good question. I don't know.
I mean, everybody does breakfast now. It used to be you go to Starbucks for a coffee. Now you can go to Starbucks and get a breakfast sandwich or a bagel or a muffin or whatever you want. So
Get anything.
yeah, everybody offers everything now. So, but we're specifically talking about donuts. I was just bringing that up. Kind of got off there about what takes us to the donut shop to buy a donut. It's usually kolaches on a Saturday or Sunday morning.
Yeah,
So.
because I don't think we ever just go and get just donuts.
No, we never say I want a donut. It's like we got to have breakfast, and it's like, man, a sweet kind of sounds pretty good after breakfast. And
Yeah,
so-
you know what? I do find that we don't eat donuts after like a dessert after dinner or anything like that. It's more for a breakfast.
I would say that is I think there are kind of desserts, if you will, air quotes here, that are breakfast kind of desserts. I think a Danish is a breakfast dessert. I think some kind of a muffin is a breakfast dessert,
Mm-hmm.
I think a
Coffee cake
or something like that would be a breakfast. A cinnamon roll is a breakfast dessert.
Right.
I'm not having that after dinner.
No.
So I think donuts is just kind of in that category.
Right,
There's
I agree.
these breakfast type desserts. I even put muffins there. I know muffin can be your meal, but it can also be a dessert. A blueberry muffin could hit the spot.
Are we
after a
counting those as a donut shop?
No, it's not in the donut. I don't even think they have them there. But was this hard for you?
No.
Not hard at all.
No.
Is there a donut shop that I'm missing on the national scene? And Krispy Kreme and Dunkin' Donuts are the only two I can think of. Regionally here in Texas, all over Texas, we have Shipley's Donuts. I mean, every time Krispy Kreme has tried to make a mark in Houston, they don't last because Krispy Kreme's is just the town favorite.
Right.
But-
I'm trying to think of
I don't
a
think there
different
is.
one, but I think everybody knows the Dunkin' Donuts, and that's
Krispy
been
Kreme.
around for years.
Yeah, that's kind of the only places. I will say there are some mid-level to high-level grocery stores that do pretty good bakeries and have pretty
They
good
do.
donuts as well.
And there are some, maybe, I guess you would call them mom and pop shops. Like there's that Snowflake around here.
That's kind of, I think, a
and-
franchise. That's a good one. I think that's nationwide.
Is it?
Yeah, I think you see those. I mean, I've seen those in Missouri and all over Snowflake Donuts. That's a great one.
Okay.
I forget about that one. There's probably a few little franchise type things like
Right.
that are more.
Right. That do
Yeah.
cater to the donuts and breakfast items.
I will say, as a coffee guru, we recently went to a little donut shop in El Paso when we were
yes.
over there.
Mm-hmm.
And coffee at a donut shop is hard to find good coffee. But I will say, I came back, I take a travel coffee, and we went over to
You
your
do.
mom's for 2 days. And I said, I'm not going to lug it. I'll just go to a couple shops and get it. And the donut shop, because my, call it gourmet coffee shop,
Right.
wasn't open yet,
Mm-hmm.
I went into the donut shop, got a coffee, and it was actually, I came home and told you, it's pretty good.
Yeah.
I was actually surprised that it was a decent cup of coffee. So,
Yeah.
but in general, I'll say I've not had good luck at coffee shops. I mean, at donut shops getting coffee.
Right. Yep. I do remember that. And you were very well surprised.
Pleasantly surprised.
Pleasantly surprised.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. So, top 5. How many honorable mentions do you have?
Let me
I've got
see.
3 I
1,
put on mine.
2, 3, 4, 5. Maybe 6.
Oh, okay.
Maybe.
Honorable mentions?
I got my 5, and then, or I guess I added one more. I don't know. All of my other ones are all honorable mentions.
For clarification, to me, is a Boston cream donut and a eclair the same thing? To me, I kind of go Boston cream is like round and filled, and then eclair is long and filled. But isn't it the same? It's the same filling, same chocolate on top. Or am I wrong?
I think maybe I don't know. They seem the same, but there's got to be maybe the cream that they put inside is different from the
cream
eclair,
inside should not be
then-
different.
Well, I don't know.
Just kidding, Michael Scott.
I'm just saying that I think probably for the Boston is probably different. It's more
Okay.
like the Boston cream pie or cake.
Okay.
Versus the eclair.
So it's a different
might
donut.
Be a little,
It would be a different donut. Okay.
I would say so.
I kind of had them the same, but I didn't know if they were different.
Yeah, I would think they're different.
Okay.
But I'm no donut making expert.
Okay. I thought you were, but okay. That's why we had
I
you on
eat
for
donuts.
this episode. Ladies first. We're going to go 5s. And again, same rule as we did with the wines. If we have it on my list, we won't talk about it until we hit it on my list.
Okay,
Fair
so
enough?
you want me to go first?
Or you want me to?
I can go first.
Okay,
It
go
doesn't
ahead.
matter. So I go 5, then you go 5, and okay.
Down to number. And these need to be ranked. I mean,
Yeah, I
some
have mine
suspension
ranked.
to what your number one. Do you have any idea what my number 1 is?
No.
No guess?
Well, I kind of, yeah.
I have a guess what yours is, too.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Go ahead, number 5.
Number 5 is the old-fashioned chocolate donut.
Okay.
They have the vanilla and the chocolate, and I like the chocolate.
Yep.
So it tastes like a glaze, but it's got a more cakey, and
Can
it's kind
you-
of broken.
Yeah, you're describing it well. I
On
was
the
going to
side.
ask you if you could describe it.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of got those split ends, like it almost
Correct.
popped all over a little
Right.
bit. Yeah.
Right. But
So-
I like the chocolate, not the vanilla. I
Some
would
people
never
also
take the
call
vanilla.
that like a sour cream cake donut or something like that.
Oh, okay.
Similar. that.
Texture maybe
Yeah.
or something.
Yeah, I
I
think
don't
so.
know. Yeah, but that would be my number 5
Yeah.
because that's one of the ones I
Old-fashioned
would
chocolate
really.
is not on my list.
No.
No.
Oh.
But I think
okay.
that's a solid start.
Yeah.
I think,
That's my
yeah,
okay.
I think that's very fine. I have one that is in that traditional kind of donut category, round, glazed, iced, whatever, donut. And it is number 5. It is the classic chocolate iced. So it's a glazed donut with the chocolate icing.
Yep.
That's number 5 for me. I just think sometimes that's just a good donut. And I like chocolate.
Yep.
So
Can I go to my number 4?
is that on yours?
Yes.
Same one?
Yeah.
I guess I
That's
was
my
supposed to
number 4.
ask you, huh?
No. That's okay because we were going 5-5, but I
I know, but
figured
if
I
it's
should
the
just
same
go.
and it was your number 2, I should have waited until.
No, that's my number 4.
I understand.
Oh.
I'm saying if it were your number 2, I should have waited
yeah,
to talk
yeah,
about
yeah,
it.
yeah,
So
yeah.
I'm glad it's number 4.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
fire away.
Yeah, my number 4 is the chocolate glazed.
Yeah.
That's the other one I will go for. I had
By the way, while you're looking up what you're looking, we are both drinking. How do you like this wine we're having as we
this
talk
is
about
delicious.
donuts? Wine
This
and
is
donuts.
absolutely delicious.
This is an Etna Bianco from Benanti, which is a great producer in Sicily. And you love Etna Biancos.
Yes, I do. So yeah, chocolate glazed. My
Yep.
number 4, love it. It's one of the ones that I
It's
go
just a
for all the
classic.
time. It's a classic.
You got to have a classic. And
Yeah.
some
And-
people,
Go ahead.
I was going to say, some people might say you got to glaze should be on there. Maybe it is,
Yeah.
but to me, I like a glaze, but we'll get to that later. But to me, I just like the icing on top of the glazed donut. I like
Yes.
that.
And I don't. And a lot of people like maybe the pink or the yellow
strawberry.
or okay,
It's
strawberry.
maple,
you
vanilla.
know, maple is. I am not a fan.
Me neither.
I do not like the maple,
Me neither.
but I will not choose any of those.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
How you feel about sprinkles?
I don't like the sprinkles.
I hate sprinkles.
I don't like the sprinkles on my donut.
Thank you. We've been together 30-some years, and we never had this conversation about
Yeah.
sprinkles.
I will tell you that if somebody brings a box of donuts to work
Yeah.
and it's just the sprinkles or the pink or the maple, I'm done. I'm
pass?
not. Yeah, I'm not eating it.
None of them.
Mm-mm.
How about if you eat it like Elaine on Seinfeld? She just eats the top of the muffin, not the
Yeah.
base.
Nope.
Couldn't you just eat the bottom of
Nope.
the donut? Not
Nope,
the
I
frosting?
won't eat any of it.
None of
it.
Okay.
So if they just bring those colored donuts, that'd be great for me because I won't touch one.
Keeps you from having a donut, huh?
Yes.
Fair enough. All right. Well, you and I are in, step here tonight because
Okay.
my number 4 is old fashioned,
Oh, okay.
not chocolate. That's where I thought we were going to be.
We're just kind of flip.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of the chocolate donut. Like, they make a cake chocolate donut that's glazed or unglazed. Just not a fan of the chocolate donut. To me, it's a little bit too much. Where, I just talked about the chocolate iced. It's just enough, to get that chocolate on there. But the old-fashioned donut, that same style that you were describing, I love it, but I like it in the original. I think that's a great donut. And that could be my number 1 donut for having with coffee.
Okay.
I think that's a really good. It's between that and a cake donut. I think those are the best coffee donuts.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
But why are you saying yes? You don't drink coffee.
No, I don't. But I
You can see what I'm talking
I could
about.
see what you're
Yeah.
talking about, and I'd probably have it with a hot chocolate.
Ah, there you go. That makes sense. All right.
Okay.
Number 3.
You go.
You want me to go?
Yeah.
Okay. Blueberry cake glazed.
I had a feeling you would say that. Yeah.
Is it on yours?
No,
Oh, okay, good. I thought it might be on yours. 'Cause
not blueberry.
You're a little bit fan of it. I love blueberries, period. I like them, blueberry muffins, but I love a blueberry cake donut. I think that's a fantastic donut.
It is a good donut. It's
And I like it glazed. Anytime I get a cake donut, I want them glazed. I don't like the unglazed. They get too dry in your mouth. You need
Yeah.
that kind of sugar kind of melts on there, and it
Yep.
kind of helps with the chew of the
Right.
cake. So I think
Okay.
a blueberry cake is a great donut.
Can I say that is on my honorable mention?
You can say it later,
Oh,
but you
okay.
just did.
I did. Okay, I
No,
won't
that's
mention
fine.
any of
No,
them.
no,
Oh,
you
okay.
can say it. It's-
Okay, because that
it's-
one is on my honorable
Okay.
mentions.
Okay.
Okay, my number 3,
Yeah.
donut holes.
Donut holes.
Isn't that part of a donut? You find it in a donut shop.
Yeah, but it's not a donut. What are your
It's a
top 5?
donut hole.
You get one.
Oh, Rob, you have seen me just take a one out of a bag.
Yeah, I don't think you order a donut hole. You say, "Can I get a bag of donut hole?" I mean, it's
in a donut shop.
I was going to mention them, but I didn't put it on my list. I do think there's a place for them, but calling it a donut.
Do you want me to take that one off?
No, we're going to let it go. I'm just letting you know we're letting it fly with a little bit of pushback as it being a donut. It's like
part of the donut. You have the donut, you take out the hole, and there you go.
And then that's the donut.
And then you have the hole.
That's the piece that they used to throw away. And they said, wait a second.
No,
there's some suckers out there that'll buy this.
Donut hole.
I know. But
it's in the name.
Okay. We'll let people decide if they think can be on the donut list. But we're going to let it fly for now. But okay. I'm just doing it with an asterisk that a little bit of pushback from me.
And let me say, on my donut holes, it's not the chocolate. It has to come from the glazed donuts.
Yeah, I would agree with you there on donut holes. There's only one way to go, which is the glaze. I think sometimes they have the, I've seen the, what's that, the cake one, the red velvet cake donut holes. And I'm like, yeah, that seems
those
way
are cake
too
balls.
They have donut holes too at the Karma Kolache.
Oh, they do?
Chocolate, the glazed, and the red velvet. And I'm like, that's just too rich. That's just
maybe those are just they're probably selling cake balls.
Oh, maybe that's what it is.
Yeah,
but it says donut holes. It's right there with the bags of them.
Oh, well, they're probably interesting. I would call those cake balls,
and they're iced.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Maybe it's just I don't know. Maybe it's got some red velvet flavor, or that's what they call it.
Yeah.
But right away, I go, I don't want that. That's not something that interests
I would.
me. Just one, though.
Just one.
Okay.
Bag.
Yeah. Okay. Number 2. It's back to you.
Wait, did you get your number 3?
Yeah, blueberry.
The blueberry.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Okay. Oh, it's going to me?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Mine would be the cake chocolate. It's called the Chocolate Devil's Food Cake Donut.
Is it glazed?
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Again,
I'm a big chocolate person.
You heard my opinion on chocolate. It got
I know.
no interest there.
I love chocolate.
I like chocolate too, but it has to be in the right proportion. Chocolate syrup on a ice cream bowl of vanilla ice cream is great. Chocolate on top of the donut, like I said. Chocolate frosting on a cake, perfect. But
give me chocolate cake with a chocolate frosting. I love chocolate.
Sounds like
I like Cocoa Pebbles.
Yeah, well,
it's got chocolate
I thought we might have more alignment here.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
You're kind of throwing me off with these. We don't get a lot of donuts, so I don't have a good feel of what your go-to would be, and now I'm a little confused. I still think I know what your number 1 is, but I might be wrong.
No, you're probably wrong.
I don't know.
Okay, what's your number 2?
My number 2 is the apple fritter.
Okay, you wouldn't take my donut holes, but you'll take an apple fritter. That's not even looks like a donut. It's a paw.
Sandra, we had this conversation just before it started that all donut shops call those premium selections, and they include apple fritters, cinnamon roll, beer claw. And I said that to you.
Yes.
And I said, in this conversation, those are considered donuts because that's what donut shops consider them. You pay like an extra 40 cents if you put that in your dozen, but it's a donut. Nowhere can you go, let me get a dozen donuts. And you go, I'll take 3 glaze, 2 chocolate glaze. Let me have 3 strawberry, 2 bags of donut holes as part of my dozen donuts. When have you ever put donut holes?
Okay, but I think it's still a donut.
When have you ever put donut holes in your dozen donuts?
You buy it on the side.
Then it's not a donut if it can't go in the... I just made a great point. That just wins the argument for me.
I want to hear from the audience.
If it doesn't go in the box of dozen donuts, is it really a donut?
Yes.
Then you can go to the donut shop, and I want to be there and film you
say that
when
again.
you order a dozen and say, give me 2 bags of donut holes as my donut in there. If it doesn't fit in the box, you must have quit.
No. I want to hear from the audience. They're going to agree with me.
I don't think so. I think I just proved my point.
No.
They may have been on the fence earlier, but this new coming to light kind of evidence or clarification, if it doesn't fit in a dozen donut box, if you can't say I want that included in my dozen donuts.
It's part of the donut.
This isn't,
a donut.
top 5 parts of a donut. That's not what we're doing. We're doing top 5 donuts.
Well, I think it is still.
Right.
Okay.
I think you're wrong.
No.
And I think...
okay, that was your number...
2 was apple fritter.
Apple fritter.
And I think you're wrong that it shouldn't be in there. We already discussed it. So I think you conceded that point, right?
Because you can buy it at a donut shop.
Well, because they have it as a premium selection. Cinnamon roll, bear claw, all those are on there.
Okay.
I can't believe you're arguing that, but you want to go with donut holes.
Yes. Yes, I do. Okay.
But apple fritter. Now, you don't just eat that out of the bag or out of the box. It's a premium selection. You need to treat it accordingly. You come home, you pull that baby out of a bag, you put it on a small plate, you warm it up in the microwave for at least 15 seconds, no more than 20. You slap a little butter on that, get you a little glass of milk, and you enjoy that apple fritter. And I would say that applies to almost all of the premium selection choices that you have, whether it be a cinnamon roll, a bear claw, any of those. The only one it might not apply to would be the cinnamon twist. Remember those donuts?
Yep.
Those are on the premium selection too. Mm-hmm. But yeah, apple fritter. I mean, I'm eating a donut. I'm also having fruit. There's apple in there, babe. That's why I get it. I go, I'll have the fruit. Fritter. And they look at me and go, fruit? And I go, yeah, that apple fritter.
Yeah.
I'm trying to be a little healthy today. I'm going to have some apple.
I am not an apple fritter.
Yeah, you like chocolate.
I love chocolate.
I'm going to pass on that.
No. I'm not an apple fritter. Do not like it. Okay. My number one, which maybe...
Let me guess. Classic glazed.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
classic glazed donut. Love it. And I'm going to say, I do have to point out that there are certain donut places that make good
donuts, period, but glazed.
Donuts or glazed. That some of them, not so good. I wouldn't eat it from there. I'd eat something else. But there are just certain donut places that the dough, whatever they're making their donuts with.
I'm going to take it a step further.
Oh.
It's not just the dough. It's that it's fresh.
Yes.
And it's hot.
Yes.
Now, I can remember when Krispy Kreme just opened in El Paso when we were still living there.
Mm-hmm.
And you could go in and that conveyor belt was running.
Oh, yeah.
And those donuts would come through with that icing just dripping that waterfall all over them. And I'm going,
delicious.
Holy. That was a time where you could put, give me 6. And they were like gone before you got in the car.
That's exactly
like,
right.
We go in and get some more. Because those were, when they're warm like that, I mean, they go down.
You don't even know what you're eating.
So that's my kind of glaze was close. It's on my honorable mention, but I do have a note. Has to be hot. And,
I can eat it hot or cold.
Yeah, cold.
But
I'm gonna warm it up if I come home with the glaze. I'm gonna get a little warm on it.
And that's why I say it has to come from a really good donut place for it to be glazed, and just eat it cold or hot. It's gonna be good.
Yeah, you need it to be airy and light and not. Mm-hmm. I would agree with that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but I don't mind just the glazed. But yeah, if I see that they're coming off fresh and I can get one hot, I'll go classic glazed.
Oh yeah.
But if it's just in the bin, I'm probably going to pass and go with the chocolate iced,
right, and
go that way. But I think that's a very good pick, and I think a lot of people think favorite. It needs to be on everybody's list. Unfortunately, like I said, it's not on mine. My number one, you know what it is. We're going back to the premium section.
An eclair?
Yes.
Oh.
What do you get me when you and Ashley go out?
Yeah,
we're going for Clutches.
Yeah,
do you want an eclair?
Yeah.
Darn right I do.
Yeah.
Yep.
That was on my honorable mentions.
How could it be? It's not a donut in your book.
I didn't say it wasn't a donut. I'm also saying that donut holes are donuts.
Parts of donuts.
You're going to lose this one.
I don't know about that. Pretty sure I'm going to win this battle.
I don't think so.
Okay. So number one, eclair. And to me, again, you got to find places that do them right. What do I mean by that?
The filling.
Yes. One, it has to taste good, but there has to be a good amount of filling in there. You don't know how many times, just traveling, we go get breakfast at a donut shop, and I'm going to grab an eclair, and that baby has no filling in there at all.
Right.
And still not a bad eat, but it's not what you want. When you think eclair, there's this expectation of cream in the middle that you're just going to enjoy.
And it has to be from end to end, because sometimes there's nothing right. They
got a little pocket in there, or something. Yeah.
Yes. And it's like maybe on half of it, and then the other half.
I agree.
Want it all the way. Because again, let's go back to that donut shop you went to in El Paso for the coffee. You got some eclairs there, and I rarely eat an eclair. And I decided
delicious
that day to have one, treat myself. And that was so good because it was filled. I mean, you just broke it open and it was filled.
I would say that one was probably the most filled eclair, or, it made me really enjoy it because I was going, holy cow, look at the cream in here.
Yeah, that was really good. The coffee, the donuts were good.
They were good.
They were very good.
And they had, the apple fritter. I could have got you a chocolate cake, and I never even knew. I never knew that's one of your favorite.
Yeah.
Donuts.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Now I know. After 30 some years together, now I know. What do you have for
another honorable mention?
Here's what I want to ask you. Are you a fan of the sugar donut?
Well, let me tell you. Because you can get
just the sugar, or you can get the cinnamon sugar too.
Okay, so I had that on my list, and I was going to talk about that.
Really? So it was close for you.
Well, not super close, but it was on there.
Okay.
So let me say, that is the only donut that I don't buy at a donut shop, but I will make at home.
Oh, yeah. Well, you make it at home.
Right. And so I do like that at home.
Okay. But why don't you like it from a donut shop?
Because it's really, if it's there, I'll pick something else that I'll enjoy more over the sugar donut.
So why don't you make a donut at home and put some glaze on it or something?
That's too much work. I can just go to the donut shop.
Too much work. You can just run down to the donut shop.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But sugar's not tough? You just put a bowl of cinnamon sugar out, roll them in there, and you're done?
Yep. And I get a donut hole.
You just told everybody you're lazy when you make donuts.
I don't ever make donuts.
Okay.
I don't get up early to make the donuts.
Well, I mean, the ones you're talking about, I don't think you've ever made them early.
No, I haven't. I've made them when the kids were little. When the kids were little, and we would make some donuts.
A dessert after breakfast or something, a little treat.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of sugar donuts in general.
No, I'm not either. That's the only
And I'm with
caveat.
you. You make them at home. Those are fine for a little sweet treat, you know. But you're right. There's way better options at a donut shop than
I'm not going to get a sugar donut. No way.
So here's another controversial one, maybe.
Oh, good grief.
That, I'm just saying, do you get it or not get it? Or is it just like something you should always pass on? But it was on my honorable mentions because sometimes with the chocolate milk, I absolutely love this donut. And even if you go to the grocery store and you buy a little bag of donuts or something, the powdered donut.
I have that on here.
Okay. I thought you might beat me up on that one.
No, I have that on here. I have powdered donuts, but do you want the white powdered donuts?
Yeah. Is there another powder?
Well, no, I don't know what I was thinking. I was thinking both the powdered and the chocolate, but no, there is only one. But yes, the powdered donuts.
It's
on
my honorable mention.
Yeah.
I really like a powdered donut.
Oh, yeah, I do too.
Not all the time. It's not one that I gravitate to a lot at a donut shop. But there have been occasions where we're in there and it's like,
they have those in the donut shops?
Of course. And there's times that I'm in there and I just go, powdered donut and a chocolate milk sounds really good. And by the way, every time we get kolaches, you get a chocolate milk. You don't get a white milk.
I know. And I get the chocolate milk because I like the kolache with the chocolate milk.
But when you have your donut, you're still drinking your chocolate milk. And you said earlier, I got to have white milk with my donut.
Normally, I have a white milk. I like a white milk. I am not going to go. If you just go to the donut shop and bring the donuts home, I'm just a dozen donuts. I'm going to have my white milk.
Okay.
I'm not going to have.
But if I throw one kolache and then now we're chocolate.
Then I want chocolate milk.
It's weird.
I know.
That's very weird.
I know.
Okay.
I know.
Fair enough.
Yep. What
else you have for a honorable mention?
You know what? I don't ever get this, but every once in a while it does sound pretty good, is the strawberry filled. Okay. It is a sugar, I do like a strawberry filled. I think that's the same
of what I am calling a jelly donut.
Oh, okay, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Whether it's strawberry, round. It's round and it's filled with jelly. Mm-hmm. So it can be a raspberry jelly, it can be a cherry, it can be a strawberry.
Lemon custard.
It's I don't know that I've seen a lemon custard.
Oh, yeah, there's a lemon custard.
So filled. Mm-hmm. Okay. I don't know if filled is different than jelly. The jelly donut's definitely a category.
Yeah, it's filled. It's a donut filled with the lemon.
No, I understand. Custard. I'm just saying I don't know if it's a different category. Filled versus jelly.
I don't think it's a different category.
Jelly donut is a category.
Okay.
So I don't know where lemon
Where
custard.
would the Boston cream pie come in?
That's why I'm asking.
Would be a filled, probably.
So maybe filled is a category, and so maybe you can fill it with like a chocolate mousse or something.
Yeah, I think I've seen some with chocolate.
So maybe there's the filled I didn't even think about that. Maybe there's the filled category and a jelly category. Both are good.
Yeah. Yep, I do. I agree with you. I do like the strawberry, though.
Yeah, I had jelly on there for sure.
And did I mention blueberry? I also put blueberry because that was one of my honorable mentions.
Well, I had blueberry, but you didn't.
You did.
Oh, no, you did mention. You said it was in your honorable mention.
Yes. Okay.
So let me ask you this. What is is glaze that style of donut where it's kind of fried and then glazed? Do you prefer that over a cake donut? I mean, I'm guessing you do because yours is number one.
Yeah, I would eat a glazed over any other donut. And if I see the glaze sitting there and I'm like, might also depend on my mood.
Okay.
But I would like a cake donut.
I go,
or even the chocolate, like the old-fashioned chocolate. Oh, I already mentioned that. Those
the
really
glaze type donut is that even chocolate iced or strawberry would be my last choice at a donut shop.
Really?
I'm going premium selection with an apple fruit or eclair, like my list. But then if I'm not in the mood or whatever, I'm going cake and I'm going blueberry with the iced, or sometimes they have a different flavor. Sometimes there's a cinnamon with ice or whatever, or just an original cake with ice. I never go chocolate. But I like a cake donut, but my cake donut has to have icing.
Yeah, because you said you don't like it dry.
No, I think that helps it from being dry.
Well, now I want donuts.
You want me to run out and get you some donuts?
No. Maybe in the morning.
So you don't think cinnamon roll is a premium selection donut?
No, I think cinnamon roll is a roll. I don't know. I don't consider it a premium donut.
What, eclair, not a premium donut?
Well,
or is that a French pastry?
I mean, that could fall under a French pastry.
What about a Boston cream filled donut? Is that a French pastry?
No.
Why?
I don't know. Because it's Boston. I don't know.
saying
they're both almost the same thing. I mean, you know what? They don't always call eclairs. They're called long johns.
That's a good point.
Mm-hmm.
I thought long johns were longer.
What's the difference? They're both.
Well, an eclair is like, 4 inches, 5 inches, and a long john would be like 8 inches.
I don't think there's a difference.
Yeah.
No.
I'm pretty sure. And that's why, with costs the way they are today, you never see long johns anymore. Have you ever seen any donut shop say long john?
No, but that may be an old name for them.
Nobody wants to order an 8-inch donut anymore. They just want an eclair.
I don't know.
I'm just making stuff up.
I know you are. I'm like, I don't know about you anymore. But yeah, they used to be called long johns. And where did the eclair come from? I guess it's the same thing.
Yeah. Do you think donuts are the most popular breakfast dessert treat even today?
Yes.
For most Americans, if they're going to go out and even if they're going to pick up fast food, hey, honey, I'm going to go get us some, bacon, egg, and cheese biscuits. Do you want me to swing by and get a donut? Is that the option?
Absolutely.
Okay.
I think they are still as popular as ever before.
Yep.
And again, you have to know the right places to go for your donuts.
Pastries, obviously, we talk about the eclair and things like that. And, this kind of higher level kind of premium selection, if you will, are all over the world. Every culture has a nice dessert like that. Mm-hmm. Just the classic donut, the classic glazed. Has it made its way out of the States? Do you think? Do you think that's something?
Good question.
Glazed
I don't know.
donuts, because we were talking about this, you and I, the other day about certain cuisines that just make it out of the country that they're in and they're everywhere. Chinese food is everywhere. Italian food is everywhere. But you don't see, South African has some great dishes. You don't see it everywhere. Mm-hmm. The glazed donut to me is like, it's a staple for America, kind of like the burger and stuff. And burgers you see everywhere now.
Right.
I just wonder if the glazed donut, if type of pastry,
in
or do they
general.
go, we don't make that crap. You want pastries here, we make it.
Well, the French would probably say that.
It's an eclair.
Because the French do have wonderful pastries, too.
Yeah, and I'll tell you when they make a dessert, there's usually it's a pastry like we're talking about, like an eclair, or there's a croissant involved. That can be really,
Yes.
really good too. So they make some good desserts with
For
croissants.
sure.
So
I mean, if we missed any, I wonder if we missed any great donuts that we didn't
I don't think so.
mention. I mean,
like I said, I went out and looked because I was wondering. I couldn't in my mind. I could only come up with like 6 or 7. And I went through and looked. Now, you can come up with more if you just go classic glazed or glazed with chocolate ice, strawberry ice, vanilla ice, maple ice,
white ice.
And I'm like, okay, who wants those?
No.
But
There are
donut
people that
holes,
do.
donut holes was on my list to talk about. But I just don't think
It's a donut.
I don't think so. We'll find out. Well, I had fun doing that with you.
Yeah.
I say that to you a lot. Michael Scott.
Oh my.
What? Do you want to play? You want me to play this?
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it. May God have mercy on your soul.
Is that what you're thinking about me right now?
Yes, because you say some pretty crazy things.
Well, I had fun doing that with you. Now I'll go to Shipley's and get you some donuts.
And tomorrow morning.
Tomorrow morning. Well, thanks everybody for listening to this episode of Bottles and Bites Without Borders. Thank you, Sandra, for joining.
No problem.
And a fun conversation on our top 5 donuts.
Oh, a lot of fun. Donut holes are donuts.
And my list wins.
No.